All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining. It's been a long task to go over Genesis 10:15 through Genesis 10:18 alone. Now we are at the final name, the Hamathite. If you are in the Brenton Septuagint, preferably, it is the Hamathite. If you are in the King James Version, we are now looking at the people group of Canaanites or Chanaanites that are called the Hamathites. Again, King James Version, you deal with the name Canaan or Canaanite, Hamathite, and the Brenton gives us the Chamanite, and we're looking at the Hamathite. The Hamathite. All right, so here we have Hamathite. So we drop the H, Hamath, and when we click Hamath, we don't get anything. When we type in Hamathite, we don't get anything. When we change it to Hamath or Hamathite, we don't get anything. Now, when we do the same thing with Yahoo, the last thing that we typed in was Hamath, so we can go down to 1M or we can keep it as 2 M's. Now 1M gives us the biblical name, 2 M's gives us Tiberius. So when we keep it at 2 M's, we get a name with a single M and it's called Hama. Now that's kind of interesting. If we look over here, we have the Bible topical whatever it is, but it's at the Bible Hub, and we get Hamath, anger, heat, a wall. Now there are a couple of things that are down here, but it's relative unimportant. I will read it because there are some locations given. First off, it says the principal city of Upper Syria. Now, the first thing we have to realize is in the Bible, you are told, Amos, chapter 9, verse 7. Are ye not as the sons of the Ethiopians, O children of Israel, saith the Lord? Did I not bring Israel up out of the land of Egypt, and the Philistines from Cappadocia, and the Syrians out of the deep? Now, that's in the Brenton Septuagint. We look at the King James Version, Amos 9 and 7. It says exactly the same thing. It says, instead of Cappadocia, now we're familiar with the term Cappadocia. Cappadocia is Cathor. Cathor is exchanged for Cappadocia. And it says, and the Syrians from Ker. In the Brenton, it says from the deep. In the King James Version, it says from Ker. Now, it turns out Ker is an actual place. It's a city. So, the Syrians were brought out. Now, let's go back to King James. It said Syrians from Ker. So, the people from Ker are now in Syria. Now, when we go to Syria, these are these people. It says, was situated in the valley of the Orontes. Now remember, that sounds like Toronto with the T taken off, right? Which is commanded from the low screen of hills which form the watershed between the source of the Orontes and Antioch. The Hamathites were a Hamitic race. It should say Chamitic race. The Septuagint came first, and are included among the descendants of Chanaan or Canaan. Nothing appears of the power of Hamath until the time of David. Hamath seems clearly to have been included in the dominations of Solomon. The store cities which Solomon built in Hamath, perhaps staples for trade, in the Assyrian inscriptions, were perhaps staples for trade. In the Assyrian inscription of the time of Ahab, Hamath appears as a separate power in alliance with Syria of Damascus, the Hittites, and Phoenicians. About 3/4 of a century later, Jeroboam II recovered Hamath. So Jeroboam II, I've never heard the first or the second when it comes with the name Jeroboam, but there you have it. About 3/4 of a century later, that happens. Soon afterwards, the Assyrians took it. This is in 2 Kings 18 and 34. From the time it ceased to be a place of much importance, Antioch Epiphanes changed its name to Epiphania. The natives, however, call it Hamath. Even in St. Jerome's time and its present day, Hama is but slightly altered from its ancient form. So it says that today it's called Hama. All right, so here it says Hamath is a celebrated city in Syria. So they say Hamath is a celebrated city in Syria. Yet the same article says it is Hama. And Hama is also in Syria. And it gets us right back to the same place. Now if we look at a map, images, images, and then we click on map. A, B, there's Hama. Now when we go Hamath, add 1T. Now where's Hamath? Now I have no idea where the difference is. And let's see if we can get picture points on both. There's Hama Governante and there's Hama. So can't really quite understand that. So they're kind of the same place. If I'm getting this right. Well, there's Hamath and there's Quara. There's Hamath Sabon, okay. There's the Ortorez River. So here's Aleppo, and that means Hamath is over here. Just can't have a map with everything there, huh? There's Kata that they talked about. And see how close this is Babylon. Yeah, how close it is to Babylon. And the city of Ur and Erect. Now you can see all that is allegedly in the same area between the two rivers. Now this has a lot of information, but it is very tiny, so is it really helpful? So, trying to figure out if Hamath is the same city as Hama, but it's hard to find it. Okay, so we went to Bible topics. This is clearly the same thing. You know, see, it's situated on both sides of the Orontes. That means there are 4 bridges over the Orontes, and it's okay. So that means the town straddles the river. Okay, so when you go Hamathites, all right, this is what they show you. They show you a bunch of black images until you get down to here, and then they show you Syria. The castle holds a dramatic visual. What? Panorama of the reaches of the Euphrates, stonework, blah, blah, blah. So these are actually the Hamathites, So this is not. This is just something thrown in there. Because when you see on TV the Syrian refugees, that's what you're looking at from Hamath. They've been ordered out of Hamath, and the war is going on in Hamath. Okay, so type in Syria or Syrian Hamathites. Okay, you see the pictures don't change. This is Syria. Alright, so if you just go here, it says Syria. And can't remember why I had this one up on screen. I don't think if it's of any value. You type in Syrian people, these are Hamathites. One of these expressed that these are the people that lived around the area when I'll tell you what, I'll just read the story or one of the stories to you. Let's go to 2 Kings. In 2 Kings, we'll go to 15. Now, I want you to kind of get an understanding. In 2 Kings, we're dealing with the last people that we did with the Sumerians. So here we have somebody comes up to Samaria to smote them. To smote Salom, son of Jabez, in Samaria, and he slew him. Now, while they're in Samaria, I think I have to go to 16. Now you see how it's spelled Paki? Let's see if we go to 16, is it better for us? Now let's go to 27. And in the 52nd year of Azarias, king of Judah, began Pekah son of Ramalis to reign over Israel in Samaria 20 years. So it says over Israel in Samaria. So Israel is in Samaria. So Samaria is a country. Israel's occupying a part of it. All right. So over here, we're going to go to 16. And 16 is the actual Pekah. When we go to, let's go to 5. And went up Rasan. Now in the King James, it's Rezin, king of Syria, and Pekah, son of Romulus. Now, did you hear that? It just said Pekah, son of Romulus. Anybody ever hear Remus and Romulus? I need you to think hard about that. Now, in this Bible, in verse 6, it says, at the time, let's see, 5. Then Rezin, king of Syria, and Pekah, son of Ramallah. Ramallah and Ramalis are two different things. I hear that they sound the same, but that's closer to Romulus, one of the founders of Rome. So Pekah, son of Romulus, king of Israel, against Jerusalem the war, and besieged Achaz, but could not prevail against him. Now, this is very close. At that time, Rasan, or Rezin, Rasan, king of Syria, recovered Elath to Syria, and drove the Jews from Elath, and the Idumeans came to Elath and dwelt there. So, in Elath were the Jews, or the Israelites. Rezin defeated the Israelites, the Jews, from the kingdom of Judea, not from the house of Israel. He defeated the Jews, drove them out of Elath, and the Idumeans came to Elath and dwell there to this day. Now, what we have in Elath, we just type in, that's Hamath, and just say, show me Elath. An ancient city in northern tip of Akabaga. Okay, it says it's in Jordan. All right, so that's their claim. So, isn't it funny how Elath sounds like Hamath, right? So it says Elath, or Eloth, a city of Idumea, situated at the north extremity of the eastern Gulf of the Red Sea, which was anciently called the Elatic Gulf. The Gulf, known to the ancients, has been almost unknown to modern geographers until the time of Burchard. This enterprising traveler explored it and gave the first full amount of it. The great sandy valley called El Araba. Toward the north, El Gore runs from this gulf to the Dead Sea. Elath was annexed to Judah and David, who established there an extensive commerce. Solomon also built ships there. In the reign of Joram, Edomites recovered it, but lost it to Uzziah, and he to Rezin, or Rasan. Under the rule of the Romans, a flourishing commercial town with the ordinances of course, Christianity. But it fell under the power of Muhammad and is now in ruins. The fortress of Abak nearby now is often visited by travelers from Mount Sinai to Palestine. It is only important for the protection of pilgrims to Mecca. Okay, so that is their claim. Excuse me, I just saw a Septuagint. Alright, it's a seaport in the Red Sea in the territory of Edoms named Ezion Geber, and the account of Israel's journey around the land of Edom appears as Eliath or Alon in the Septuagint, and in Josephus as Alas. While Eusebius has Aila. Let's see, that's a lion. Let's see if that comes up at all. Or let's just see if this is. I know where they said it was. I just want to see if it's in Syria. Oh, look at that. Elaf, Syria. There's so many in image. So their journal is the Elaf journal. See, again, it's ELAPH. I had a feeling like, hey, why am I still looking at this if I already found, what I'm kind of looking for? But, it's not what I'm looking for. It's not Alaf. It's, it's not Alap. It's Elaf. Alap. PH. Alaf. Lebanese. Now, we have some more brother and sister separation. Now, I just had an, yeah, Elaf. Let's try that now. Whoops. Oh, randomly translating one or two pages isn't going to get it. All right. Here we have Alaf in Arabic, meaning coming together. It is the first daily Arabic independent online newspaper and is not associated with any established print or broadcast medium. Okay, so there's Alaf as a business. Okay. Now again, this is the city, the name of the city that is discussed. Now we already know there's a city named this in Syria. It's already come up. Alaf translation leading translation company based in Dubai. Translation a dictionary of ancient geography. See, why would we get ancient geography if we're looking up a different name? Now, seems to be index EL, and we'll see if EPH comes up. Alaf, APH, EPH. Now, EL, AE, and it skips to U. Ypres, maritime town, and Archeon, Ypres, Thrace. Well, it seems also spelled AILA, and they put an H on the end. Elafates, Elafatis, a small island near Sorko. So let's see, EL, come on, ELAPH, itis, EPO. So it gives us a flat eye. Now, this is a small archipelago set of islands consisting of several islands stretching of the Adriatic Sea. What the fuck is the Adriatic Sea? It's a whole land, 30 square kilometers. Mainlands. What is this? The Arabic Islands? No. Right back to Italy, right? Here we go. There's a body of water spreading the Italian peninsula and the Baltic peninsula and the Apennine Mountains and the Dinaric Alps. The dinar, that's the money, adjacent ranges. All right, so this deals with the Mediterranean and the Straits of the Otranto. All right, so before we get any lost or any further lost, let's see if yeah, Syria. It's just pretty much telling me about the islands. So everything that's going to come up is in mainly another language, unless they're basically talking about this journal. Go 10 pages in. 10 pages in, we get some English stuff, you know. So, all right. Look, the Hamathite is the people that lived in and around Hamath. When the people of Syria were moved, these people, it was opened up for them side by side with the Edomite. We know the Edomite is the Turk. We can see that these people look very much like the Turks. And when I say the Edomite is the Turk, we can see that because of the Ottoman Empire. We already know that there's Edomites that are black skin that look like us, or brown skin that look like us with black hair, afro hair. All right, so I don't think we're going to get any further than this. Right now, the refugees are pouring out of there and going into all the other lands. You know that. I know that. All right. So here's your look at what the true Canaanites look like.